To say that I was born into the labor movement is a bit of an understatement. My birth was literally reported in the union's newspaper, the local 830 Reporter. And ironically, it's a publication that I later would become the editor of. My father was somebody who drove a soda truck for a living and grew to become the principal officer of the union. He wanted me to remember the people who work for a living because they don't get the respect that they deserve. So those rides to the ball game and those conversations around the dinner table centered around the sanctity of the working man. I learned at an early age that if I said I wanted to go to the union hall with my pop, it got me out of church. And I guess the union became my church. I was a member of the union. I was a truck mechanic. I fixed trucks for a living. I quickly became a shop steward, and eventually I became the president of the union. When I became the president of the union, I come to learn that we were not a social cause fighting greedy corporations. We were a greedy corporation. It was at that moment that I decided I was going to try to constitute change, or I had to leave the labor movement as I knew it. I met Byron when we were working on a campaign. There were a whole bunch of consultants. It was at a casino.
We hit it off right away.
We just had a rapport. We had the same kind of ideas and ideals.
He did it for the right reasons. He came into it because he wanted to make it a better place for employees.
Eventually, we started Reliant Labor Consultants.
He comes from the union side, and the opposite. I run it from the management side. So having his side and my side in the same firm is a tremendous advantage. Kind of unique to our firm as well.
Don't let bad things happen in your workplace if you think it's a bad thing. We don't come in and apologize for the company. We simply educate employees on what it means to be in a union today from a position of someone who's been there. I know unions better than they know themselves. And when employees learn the truth about unions, most employees will choose not to join a union. Speak up. And understand that the National Labor Relations Act is not one way.
There are a lot of firms that will win at any cost. As a company, you've got to determine what kind of consulting firm that you want. If you want to slash and burn, that's going to win at all costs, extremely aggressive, push the edges of the law, there are firms out there for you. We're not that firm. We're a firm that's going to stay within the law, and we're going to try to do it in a positive way to build bridges between you and your employees, as opposed to trying to scare your employees into wanting to stay union-free as opposed to going union.
Y bueno, a ver, explíqueme lo que está sucediendo.
We try to bring in consultants with a diverse background. Consultants who can speak the language, understand the different cultures.
Medical professionals, HR professionals, former union organizers. We have bilingual consultants. But we all have a same mindset and idea of education. And we want employees to know truthfully how this works, and we want the employer to understand why it happened so that we can prevent it from happening again.
Some firms come in, scare the employees to death, but don't make much of an effort to bring the employees back in line with their company. And we do a pretty good job of running campaigns that do both, that win, that give the messages that the employees need to have, but also help the employer to fix the underlying problems that cause the employees to seek union representation in the first place.
It's about not just winning a campaign, but it's also about providing a roadmap for the future of that company. So when you make things better, everybody wins. The employer has an organization that transforms itself. The employees have a better work situation. Everybody wins. Maybe not the union, but they'll be okay.